Good morning. Welcome. Was this roadblock clearly a roadblock? Good morning. This is clearly a roadblock. Was this roadblock the construction of Zealots, part of the Jewish rebellion against the Romans? It's a wide street, and this is very well blocked, very seriously blocked. A very interesting feature is that this is made of pillar pieces, plastered, and with some color even, which is worn off on the outside here now, on the plaster. And this is how we found it, exactly like this. And so the question is, was this placed here constructed with pillars from the synagogue, which are plastered and colored and missing, and very close by the location, here in our first century synagogue, which is closed down around the year 67 according to the archaeological conclusions from the excavation. And it's relevant today because we're going to be talking about one of the Zealots. And Flavius Josephus, or Flavius Josephus we call him, he's in Hebrew Josephus ben Mattiyahu, is writing that he strengthened the northern wall of Magdala, of Tarichea. It's the word he uses. There are three names here: Tarichea, Magdala, Migdal Nunaya in Aramaic, and Migdal Nun in Hebrew. He strengthened this town in the northern side, and so he's sitting way over there. The headquarters of Magdala have to be in the old center of Magdala, where the Franciscan site is today, south of us. And here you see, this is a temporary type of, or a provisional type of structure. You can see a very good structure there to the right, and then this type of provisional fill-in, and then you have another very solid structure, and the same thing is repeated over here. And we're north of Magdala, north of the town, the north end of the town, in relation to what would be the Franciscan site a few hundred yards over here. We can show you that now as we get closer. Here we're walking by the first century market area of Magdala. And today we're remembering two very Jewish names. Jude, Judas, but not Judas Iscariot. Judas Thaddeus. And we're remembering Simon. Simon, very, very Jewish name, one of the names of the tribes, and also Judas, Judah. There are two actually names of tribal members, the 12 tribes. So there's the sun. And that grey colour is actually the goal, and just the way the light is right now, that's the way it's showing up. Interestingly effect, isn't it? If I had my boots on, I could go up there. There's also another reason why I won't. Because I want to go into Duke and Alton with you. Since we're remembering two of the 12, we're going to notice the icons. The olives have been harvested, by the way. So there's very little on them now. Still some, well, actually quite a few here in this corner, but they did this tree yesterday morning or the day before. I think we caught them on camera. So let's get back on topic here, Padre. Actually, it's very late now, so I can give you a little sound of the bells here, which we haven't had for a long time. Oh, they tied it on me and I can't reach it. How will we do that now? Well, we'll do it another time. You can imagine the sound of the bells. They obviously didn't want the tourists going in there and the children. So it's locked right now. Not locked, but just tied up with wire. Too complicated to open it right now. So Simon and Jude are two of the 12, and we remember them on the 28th of October. And they're interesting in the sense that we hardly know anything about them, so it's kind of funny. You'd say they're interesting, we don't know anything about them, but we have some very interesting clues. Simon is called the Zealot, and he's also called the Canaanite. But as Pope Benedict points out, I put a link in here today for you in his wonderful presentation. He says that both names mean the same thing. The Canaanite word means that he's a very zealous person, just like zealous itself, zealous for the Lord. And Elijah was a zealous person for the Lord. That word is used. So he was the Canaanite. So here we have a picture of the icon of Simon the Zealot right here. And you can see he met a rough end. He was sawn in his martyrdom. And the interesting thing is the Zealots were the ones who did the rebellion against the Roman Empire, the Roman occupation. And here we have Matthew right beside him. And Matthew's a tax collector working for the Romans, working for the Herodians, collecting the taxes. And so you could have two opposite ends of the political spectrum, and they're both united by the person of Jesus. Because Jesus is interested in people, not in the groupings and the divisions and the categories and the labels that we give people. And here we have Judas, the son of James, which is in Latin Jacob and Yaakov in Hebrew. So Judas Thaddeus also, he has two names. And these two apostles are named together, listed together in the list of the apostles in the Gospels. And so they're celebrated together in the church memory. And maybe the very fact that we don't know too much about them, biographical details and so on, is also good, because most of us would not be remembered too much in history. We're just simple members of the church. And let's say Peter is very remembered, and John is very remembered, and Matthew for the gospel. But I think most Catholics today, most Christians today would probably not even remember the names of the 12 apostles. They might remember Peter or James or John. But the rest of them will be a little bit more obscure. And so in the life of the church, our names won't be remembered that necessarily by many people. It's an interesting thing that the Jewish expression for people who pass away is, may they be of blessed memory. So, not a bad memory. May they be of blessed memory. And it doesn't matter. What they did was of incredible significance, even if we don't remember them today. What they did was to receive the gift of revelation, the gift Christ had brought to the world, and they lived it faithfully. And they carried it on to the next generation and handed it on. And that's what each of us are doing. Carrying it on and handing it on to the next generation. Parents with their children. Teachers with their class. Medical help with their patients. Handing on that charity, that kindness, that goodness. Good morning, Nida. Nushkarala, you're on the video today. We have a nice picture of you here with the window as well. So God bless you, Nida. Allah ibarak shoglak. Good morning, Boker Tov. Some people are saying that it's nice that I'm getting up very early every morning, but who would want to miss this sunrise? So there we have these apostles being faithful. And if we look at the readings today, their message goes out to all the earth. And we've received that message to all the earth here in our Sunrise Stroll and Chat. Really, this broadcast here, this live stream is going out to all the earth, from South Africa to Finland and around the globe. Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, across through India, across through the Middle East, to Europe, to the Americas, and around again to East Asia. So their message goes out to all the earth. This is our psalm. Their message goes out to all the earth. And they were faithful. They handed on the good news. And that's our simple task. Look what happened to our branches. Our frame is gone. Yesterday, Zidane was here and a helper, and they trimmed all the undergrowth of these trees so that the head of the trees will continue to be the part that flourishes. So we had our last shots of that vegetation in the undergrowth yesterday. Well, people, we have a lot of inspirations from the readings today. That fidelity, that building up, that going out, the commitment of people. They were all martyred. Total commitment. That's what really counts. It doesn't matter our affiliation. These were people completely in their own culture, in their own identity, and yet they accepted Jesus with a very big open heart when it wasn't easy, because they were also challenged by their own contemporaries. They lived under the spectre of persecution, of hostility, and they were martyred. So the absolute maximum of commitment. Living maybe in anonymity, people don't remember them anymore, but they fulfilled their part in history. God bless you as you do the same today. See you later. Good morning, Moshe.
How are you?
Very well. God bless you.